Caitlin Clark has a lot going on right now. She just turned 23 years old. She obviously had a monster rookie season. Time named her Athlete of the Year. She's got a boyfriend. She's got Taylor Swift as her new bestie. She wants to hang out.
Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourselves for a Super Bowl like no other. Super Bowl LIX is not just a football game. It's a convergence of sports legends, music superstars, and even political figures, all under one roof at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans.
Caitlin Clark's star is only going to shine brighter because she handles herself with grace and class.
The Kansas City Chiefs, led by the dynamic duo of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, are eyeing their third consecutive championship.
They were mentioning Caitlin Clark's name just as much as they were mentioning Taylor Swift, which shows you that even the NFL recognizes the power of Caitlin Clark. She's become completely mainstream. She is a household name.
But the excitement doesn't stop on the field. In the stands, we'll see pop icon Taylor Swift cheering on her boyfriend, Travis Kelce. Adding to the star-studded lineup, WNBA sensation Caitlin Clark has confirmed her attendance, further blurring the lines between sports and entertainment. And if that wasn't enough, former President Donald Trump is also expected to be in the audience, making this one of the most talked-about Super Bowls in history.
Caitlin Clark is the biggest star in American sports. There's not one other American athlete that could do what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA or for any league.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
With high-profile performances, record-breaking bets, and a cultural impact that transcends the sport, Super Bowl LIX is set to be an unforgettable spectacle. Super Bowl LIX was already shaping up to be one of the most highly anticipated events of the year, but with Caitlin Clark now officially confirming her attendance, the excitement has reached an entirely new level. The WNBA's rising superstar isn't just showing up as a casual fan. She's stepping into the biggest spotlight in sports, right alongside some of the most influential figures in entertainment and politics.
Most people who know Caitlin Clark probably are not WNBA fans, but they know of her because of her greatness.
Clark, who has been making waves in the basketball world, has deep-rooted ties to the Kansas City Chiefs. Growing up in Iowa, she was a lifelong Chiefs fan, and her passion for the team has only grown stronger as she's built a friendship with Taylor Swift. During the playoffs, she was personally invited by Swift and Travis Kelce to watch the Chiefs from their VIP suite at Arrowhead Stadium, a moment that instantly went viral. Now, with Swift confirming her presence at the Super Bowl, it only makes sense that Clark would be part of this star-studded experience as well.
Caitlin Clark is becoming the best player, not because she's white, because she's that good. She's having Larry Bird impact.
But Clark's presence isn't just about being a fan, it's a major cultural moment. She's arguably the biggest name in women's sports right now, and her decision to attend solidifies her influence beyond basketball. The Super Bowl isn't just a football game anymore. It's a spectacle where sports, celebrity culture, and even politics collide. With Swift already bringing massive attention to the NFL through her relationship with Kelce, Clark's presence adds yet another layer of intrigue, drawing in WNBA fans and elevating her status as a crossover star.
I was wrong about the impact that Caitlin Clark was going to have on the WNBA.
And then there's Donald Trump. The former president's attendance at Super Bowl LIX marks a historic moment as he becomes the first sitting or former U.S. president to be part of this legendary event. His presence adds another layer of attention, sparking debates and discussions beyond just the game itself. Whether people love him or hate him, there's no denying that Trump's attendance makes the Super Bowl even bigger in terms of media coverage and public interest. Meanwhile, as the world focuses on the A-list attendees, the action on the field remains just as intense. The Chiefs are on the brink of making NFL history with their third consecutive Super Bowl title, led by Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. Their opponents, the Philadelphia Eagles, are seeking revenge after losing to the Chiefs in Super Bowl LIX. With both teams at full strength, the battle is expected to be a showdown for the ages.
I did not think it was possible that one player could come in and basically quadruple the ratings.
But beyond the game itself, another major force is at play: sports betting. With a record-breaking $1.39 billion in legal wagers expected to be placed on this game, the financial stakes are just as high as the competitive ones. Gambling companies are capitalizing on the hype, aggressively promoting their platforms, and encouraging fans to place their bets. However, experts are raising concerns about the dark side of this surge in sports betting, warning that addiction rates are rising rapidly. The Super Bowl, with all its high-stakes drama, could push more people into financial trouble as they chase big wins. So, as Caitlin Clark, Taylor Swift, and Donald Trump take their seats in the Caesars Superdome, the Super Bowl is shaping up to be more than just a football game. It's a cultural and financial phenomenon unlike anything we've seen before. And with millions watching, both on the field and off, this event is guaranteed to make history.
Caitlin is an amazing generational talent, and she's going to do amazing things.
Super Bowl LIX isn't just a championship game, it's an entertainment and cultural powerhouse that has transcended the world of sports. While the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles battle it out on the field, all eyes will also be on the stands, where a lineup of A-list figures is turning this into the most talked-about Super Bowl in years. Caitlin Clark's official confirmation that she'll be attending adds a new dynamic to this already historic event. She isn't just a rising WNBA star, she's become a mainstream sports icon, drawing millions of new fans to women's basketball. Her growing influence extends beyond the court, and her presence at the Super Bowl aligns her with some of the biggest names in the industry. With her connection to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, it's clear that Clark is making moves beyond basketball, cementing her place in sports culture at large.
I've got the fever. I can't help it. I can't stop watching. I can't stop talking about the impact Caitlin Clark is having on game after game after game.
Speaking of Taylor Swift, her impact on the NFL has been undeniable. Ever since her relationship with Kelce became public, the league has benefited from a massive surge in viewership, especially among younger demographics and female fans. Networks have capitalized on her presence, frequently showing her reactions during Chiefs games, and merchandise sales have skyrocketed. The NFL is fully aware of how much attention Swift brings, and having her at the Super Bowl, especially with Caitlin Clark alongside her, adds another layer of excitement. And then there's Donald Trump. His attendance at the game is making headlines across the political spectrum. Whether you support him or not, having a former president at the Super Bowl shifts the narrative from just a sports event to a larger cultural moment. With Trump still being a polarizing figure, his presence guarantees that this Super Bowl will be discussed far beyond just the final score.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
But the spectacle doesn't stop with just who's watching. It extends to the entertainment lineup as well. Kendrick Lamar and SZA are set to headline the halftime show, bringing together two of the biggest names in the music industry for what promises to be an unforgettable performance. Over the years, the Super Bowl halftime show has evolved into a global phenomenon, often overshadowing the game itself in terms of cultural impact. Given the hype around this year's performers, the entertainment factor is just as significant as the football itself. And behind all this excitement lies an industry that thrives on the chaos, the world of sports betting. With an estimated $1.39 billion in legal bets expected to be placed on this game, gambling companies are cashing in big time. Betting on sports has become more accessible than ever, with apps making it possible to place wagers instantly. This surge in betting interest has made the Super Bowl one of the most financially lucrative sports events, but it also raises concerns about addiction and financial risk.
The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
There's nothing, Shannon. You just want to support that white girl. She busting y'all ass.
The combination of sports, celebrity influence, and financial stakes makes this Super Bowl unlike any before it. Whether fans are tuning in for the football, the entertainment, or simply to see who's sitting in the luxury suites, one thing is certain. Super Bowl LIX is set to be a defining moment in pop culture history. And with Caitlin Clark now part of the spectacle, the impact of this event just got even bigger. Super Bowl LIX isn't just about football. It's a billion-dollar business that thrives on media coverage, sponsorship deals, and the star power of its attendees. While the Kansas City Chiefs and Philadelphia Eagles battle for the championship, brands, networks, and betting companies are waging their own war for audience attention and profits. And this year, with Caitlin Clark, Taylor Swift, and Donald Trump all in the mix, the stakes have never been higher.
There is no one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
Caitlin Clark's attendance isn't just a casual appearance. It's a strategic move that aligns her with one of the most watched sporting events in the world. She's already one of the most marketable athletes in women's sports, with major endorsement deals and a rapidly growing fan base. The Super Bowl provides her with the perfect opportunity to further expand her brand beyond basketball. Sitting alongside Taylor Swift, one of the most powerful figures in entertainment, only boosts her visibility. Swift's influence on the NFL has already been proven. Her presence has driven record viewership and merchandise sales for the league. With Clark now entering that space, it signals a new era where women's sports stars are becoming just as commercially valuable as their male counterparts. And then there's Donald Trump, whose attendance adds yet another layer of intrigue. His presence at the Super Bowl isn't just a political statement, it's a media play. The event gives him an opportunity to be seen by millions of Americans in a setting that isn't a campaign rally or debate stage. Whether people support him or not, his attendance ensures that the Super Bowl will dominate political conversations as well, adding to the event's cultural relevance.
My advice to Caitlin, kind of keep your mouth shut, because everybody is looking for you to say anything and they're going to splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane. That should be celebrated, and it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up.
But behind all this hype lies one of the biggest industries benefiting from the Super Bowl: sports betting. With a record-breaking $1.39 billion in legal wagers expected to be placed, gambling companies are making massive profits. The rise of sports betting apps has made it easier than ever for people to place bets instantly, and the Super Bowl is the ultimate event for high-stakes wagers. But with this boom in betting comes a darker side. Experts warn that gambling addiction is on the rise, with millions of Americans now struggling with compulsive betting behaviors. The Super Bowl, being the biggest sports event of the year, often pushes people to place riskier bets, hoping to make up for previous losses. The intersection of sports, celebrity influence, and financial stakes has made the Super Bowl more than just a game. It's a global spectacle where everything is monetized. From the price of advertisements, which cost millions for just a 30-second slot, to the massive betting industry that surrounds it, this event is a financial powerhouse. And with Caitlin Clark, Taylor Swift, and Donald Trump all playing a role in this year's spectacle, Super Bowl LX is set to be the most talked about game in years.
2,826 gallons of beer have been sold.
Wow.
Draft beer. That's an increase of 740%. Hot dog sales up 300%.
As fans tune in for the action on the field, it's clear that the real game isn't just about touchdowns and championships. It's about business, branding, and the billions of dollars that make the Super Bowl the biggest sporting and entertainment event in the world. Super Bowl LIX is shaping up to be more than just a football game. It's a cultural phenomenon where sports, entertainment, and business collide on the grandest stage. With Caitlin Clark stepping into the spotlight alongside Taylor Swift and Donald Trump, this event is proving just how much influence goes beyond the field. From the Chiefs chasing history to the record-breaking betting surge, every aspect of this Super Bowl is set to make headlines, and as millions tune in to witness the action, one thing is certain: This isn't just a championship game. It's a defining moment in pop culture where the biggest names in sports, music, and politics come together in one unforgettable night.
The WNBA tried to capitalize on her popularity and crammed a lot of games in over a short amount of time, playing against the best teams in the WNBA.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.